Hello, Mr. Suhail, how are you? I hope the screen is clear. I'll just show you a quick demonstration on HR. Of course, there should be like a training, a full training, and you should be able to understand more details clearly through the YouTube videos and all the other things. But I'll just show you a quick demonstration into how to get started with HR, okay? So first of all, I'll show you the settings. These settings, of course, are available only from the admin account because these are very sensitive information and sensitive data. So therefore, like the person should be logged in from the admin account in order to be able to view them. So they are mainly, I don't think you will be using them because if you already have Hinnawi software, then it all should be set up clearly. But I'll just show you a quick demonstration to just get an idea how things and activities and menus read from the setup and settings, okay? So the first thing is the general settings for HR, HRMS. This is how the window looks like. We have settings regarding company setup, regarding the salary, basic salary, and all the other allowances, regarding the benefits, the activities. So as you see here in the basic salary, we have several items. Of course, these items are not fixed. They are just by default created when we give the software to companies. But in case companies want more allowances, more items, it is also available from the general list. General list is basically as if we are opening the database for clients and for users in order to be able to add more items to basic salary and allowances, okay? We also have one of the important things are the HRMS activities setup. So basically you see here this menu, the HRMS activities. Everything from that menu reads from here, from the HRMS activities setup. It includes all the activities such as the leave. The leaves including all types. This as well is not fixed. So of course we have these types of leaves, but in case users prefer more new types, they can also add it from the general list. We also have absences, allowances, loans, additions, deductions, end of service, everything. So let me show you, for example, the current annual leave setup we have. Here we specify what positions and departments are selected for this setup in leave and how many minimum working period the employees should be able to work until they start having balance, counted as balance. And is it possible, according, of course, to company policies, do they prefer to transfer this balance to next year in case they did not use all of it? Or do they just want to start from scratch and completely erase all the remaining balance they have? And how much does it cover from the salary, the percent of the salary? For example, if we're talking about annual leave, it will cover 100% of the salary. Otherwise, it could cover 0%, 50%, depending on the type of leave, okay? And we select the months from 2, and from each row, we select how many days are available for that category. So of course, when we're talking about 0 to 6 months, some companies prefer to have only, zero days allowed for annual leave, because annual leave is only for 6 months or more. But in case you want to change in that, it's also possible. You can also choose the mode if it should be calculated like monthly or yearly. That's also possible. And all the other settings, feel free to scroll through all of them. And by the way, HRMS is multi-company file. So in HR, we can have several, for example, branches, let's say, or files. It's all available from here, and each file has its own settings and its own setup. Okay? Let's start with the main thing, which is the Manage Employee. Manage Employee menu basically concerns all activities related to only employees. So we're not talking about leaves, absences, any of that. We are only concerned about the employee himself or herself. So anything regarding the employee, anything regarding starting a new employee, from here, you can create a new employee. You can also import existing employees. If you have Excel sheet, you can provide that to us according to specific policies and specific, let me say, guidelines we will be informing you about in case you have existing employees who should be transferred or imported to Hinnawi software without having the need to create them one by one. But creating them one by one is from here. Each employee has several documents from here, and salary, of course, whenever you want to change the salary for the employee, for example, whether decrease or increase his salary, it's from here, from setting salary and benefits, which should be previously set up from the settings. Finding a new employee, whether by his name or by his employee number, is from here. There are three different forms to view the employee information, whether you want to view it as in a profile, a list, or a center. All these three different formats enable you to view the employee information, anything related to that employee, personal information, activity information, position, department. All the things related to employees are from these three menus right here. We also have other managed employees. This is not usually used, so don't focus a lot on that. This is just extra for extra features in Hinnawi software. It is also possible to transfer employees between companies because, as I said, it's multi-company in HR. You can transfer them between departments and positions as well. And in case you need a new department or a new position to be created, you can also create that easily and simply from the general list and from all the things in the settings. We can also transfer between locations, between projects. We can have an idea or have a look on employees who are currently inactive or active. It happens for different reasons for the employee to be inactive, such as going through end of service, going on an annual leave, like many different reasons for employee to be actually considered as inactive. And there is delete employees. This is just extra, but we don't usually recommend using the delete employees because you can simply have other transactions for employees who are no longer needed, as I said before, such as end of service. We have the recruitment process. This is really a strong process and a strong activity in Hinnawi software. And here, this actually is considered as a step that is used before creating an employee. So in case you want to create a new candidate and go through all the activities and reports and then transfer that candidate to employee, it will be moved to employee profile, list, or center. So recruitment is actually the first step, but you can directly ignore it and start with creating a new employee. There are several forms and things. And very important thing here is that for each menu, we have more information at the end. So more information exists for each menu in order to view a PDF, for example, a diagram, anything that further allows you to know about the workflow or the module or how does things work in Hinnawi software. So that's regarding the managed employees. Now regarding HRMS activities, here are all the things that we have previously set up. So any employee who wants to go through leave can start from here. It's pretty simple actually. You can start from creating a new employee from here, deleting or editing that employee in case you change your mind, or approving that employee next. You can also delete that employee after you have approved it, extending the leave in case, for example, for any reason the leave should be extended, and returning from the leave at the end. You can also adjust the days manually, but this is really sensitive, so it should be used for the admin or the person who is really highly in charge. Same thing applies to absences, because of course only HR employees go through absences, since timesheet employees have different path or a different activity. But since all your employees at your company are HR, so yes, absence will be used from here, starting from creating, moving on to deleting or editing, to approving. Loan, same thing. This is the process of the loan. You can create, edit, approve the loan. You can also increase, decrease, for example, hold the loan if it should be stopped for a month. So if the installment should be stopped for some time, it's also possible. You can stop the salary for any reason. You can stop the salary in case you don't want this employee, for example, to be considered or to be applied in the salary sheet for this month. It can also be done from here. Additions, deductions, for example, if there are bonuses, if there are, for example, any types of increasing in the salary or decreasing in that month. Absconded workers is for employees who suddenly just ran away from the company. How do we deal with these kind of employees, and what is the form? What do we do with them? For example, release them after they get back to the company in case they get back. We also have the air ticket in case this company provides air tickets for employees. So we can set the frequency of those air tickets. We can set the setups and the settings for it. Employee training, of course, if there are several courses to be taken outside the company, outside the city, even outside the country, can also be set from here. And after the person returns back from training, they can enter the summary from here. And there is more information as well. Expenses, benefits, you can approve group of activities in case you don't want to approve one by one. So it's possible to go from this window and approve everything at once. End of service is for employees who will no longer be able to work in the company. For example, in case they're fired or in case any reason or retirement, it's all from here. Payment as well is from here, and HRMS is highly linked with accounting. So payment of activities is from here, which after this step is done, it will instantly link HRMS and all its transactions and activities with the accounting module. And receiving from employees as well, links between HR and accounting. Timesheet will not be used for your company. We also have payroll. You will be using the HR payroll. You can create a draft which has no financial or accounting results or effects. You can create the salary sheet from here, apply taxes if used, delete created salary sheet. You cannot delete the approved salary sheet though. You can only delete the created salary sheet because it's too late to change your mind afterwards. And then you approve the salary sheet, whether by month or by each employee individually. And timesheet payroll will not be used, as I mentioned earlier. Payment for salary sheet, you will be using the first one. I mean the third one. Yep, the third one. Create and pay WPS HR employees. Because UAE and several other countries use the WPS, which is the wage protection system. So you will be using the third one. And any input inserted or created in Hinnawi software will, of course, have an output. It will have the result displayed in the HRMS reports. So any input will have an output from this menu. You can see all the things you have inserted earlier, all the things you have created, all the results. It will be displayed here in this menu, which is the HRMS reports. Feel free to contact me if you have any further questions. Thank you.